it's your favorite Unk here, one guy coming at you with a different video today. So today is Wednesday, the 14th of January. So we're almost about halfway to GDO 3. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about GDO 3 in regards to the AEUG archetype, in regards to Zeta and how well the new cards are going to be. So let's talk about that. So let's talk about the cards we do have, so we can kind of already understand the strategy of what the AU want to do, right? So let's search. So we have our main boss monster for right now, which is the Zeta Gundam, and what it does is during Link, activate during your main, and then once per turn. So you choose one active friendly base, so it doesn't have to be a white base, so that's important. No white base, just a friendly base. So EXs, any other colors that you're using, so it kind of doesn't limit the color to just only having white. And if you do, set this unit to as active. It cannot choose the enemy player as its attack target during this turn. Meaning, you can't swing for bases and you can't swing for shields once you restand him. But you can go for more of their units. So he is a double hitter in a sense. Just a weaker double hitter, not compared to like Unicorn, not Unicorn. I think it is Unicorn, right? Banshee, and other cards of that nature. But what he can do is you can, clear bodies. In a game like this where numbers do matter, clearing a body can be a make or break for you. He is a 5-4, so he's high on the offensive side, low on the defensive side, but that's where his pilot Camille comes in. So Camille Bidan is a 1-2, so it increases it by 2, so it makes it a 6, so a 6-6. But if there's a white base in play, you get 2 more AP added on top of the 1, so it's 3. So it becomes an 8-6. So pretty good at dealing with the heavier bodies. So we like that. Next, we're going to talk about the Gundam Mark II. So the Gundam Mark II, I don't use this Gundam as much. I don't use this unit as much because we only have the 2 pilots right now. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I get to play Camille a turn early. But remember, we only have 4 Camilles in our decks. So we want to make sure that we're utilizing him for Zeta. Or we're utilizing him for something else, right? I mean, it's still pretty good because even with a white base, because you do need a white base. So deploy. If a friendly white base is in play, you may pair one AEUG pilot card from your hand to this unit. So, meaning he can definitely pop off and go to town from there. And it is a 4-3 3-4, so okay, not bad. When it comes to the numbers, or stats are the same, but hopefully with the new pilots, if we do have any new pilots again, we're gonna review that the cards that have been spoiled to us. Maybe there might be a pilot that gives it a 2-1, making it a 5-4 for 4, and then from there it's like, oh, that's pretty good actually. The next card we'll talk about is the Hayashiki. So this is a 5-3-4-4. So it's a blocker, and if there is a friendly white base, it gains repair 1. So this is the only blocker in my knowledge that has repair, any repair for that matter. And then bear in mind, repair does stack. So if you have a card that gives it another repair 1, you can technically in a sense give it repair 2, and it now becomes like a different version of Grandpa. It does pair with Quattro Bajira, so let's talk about him real quick. So Quattro Bajira, this card counts as Char, Aznable. Okay, cool. And then when linked, if it's linked to a AU unit, you draw 1. If you do, discard 1. Obviously, it'd be broken because it's obviously considered Char. So if it was linked to, say, for instance, the Zaku's or the Gelgoog, to draw a card and discard a card, that's very strong on those type of bodies. The only problem that I have is that I was really hoping or really wishing that it would keep the Char Aznable's stats. So for Char, let's go with all. Let's go. Alright. Oh no. Because I went with white, right? Dang it. And AEUG. Okay, so with Char is a 1-1, 3-1, but then during the turn it gets AP plus 1, and obviously gets high maneuver, right? The high maneuver would have been phenomenal, right? But that's asking for too much, right? If there are technically 8 Chars in the field or in one deck at one point that gives high maneuver, then the card is going to be busted, right? So that's why they kind of nerfed it a little, which is another problem. We'll get into another date about why I feel that Gundam is going a little bit different when it comes to power creep and the sets that they're giving out. But I mean, it's early to tell. I'm not gonna be like, whoa, it's completely bull, but But yeah, I was hoping it'd be a 2-1 instead of a 1-2. But hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers at this point, right? So let's go back to filter. I mean, I could just go to AEUG and call it a day, but All right, so we have that, right? So then with Quattro, the Hayashiki becomes a 5/6 body with repair 1 is not bad. It's very good in my opinion. Next, we have a card that's near and dear to my heart. I love this card with all because it's just so much fun to play with. It is the Rick Diaz Red, and on the attack, you get to choose one friendly base. So it doesn't have to be any. It can be any color base. It doesn't have to be white. You rest it, and you choose an enemy unit that's level 4 or lower, and then it gives it minus AP 2 for the turn. That hits cards like Gundam Varric. That hits the blockers, so it hits Ilrit, it hits Rick Diaz, it hits the War. So it's good for the early game, or for like I guess mid game you can say, because like at 4 it's pretty much mid game at that point. So it's a good mid game card to prevent your opponent's blockers from doing anything or interacting, and you can also use it to clear bodies as well. The 4/3 does mean that it dies to wing. Oh yeah, that's the difference between that and the Gundam Mark II. Is if there's a lot of wings in your meta, then I guess you would run the Mark II over the Rick Diaz Red. But I only dealt with like maybe 1 wing, and then even then we saw how much we bodied wing with Zeta, so we're good there. So I think Rick Diaz Red is good. It does have the AEUG trait, so you can slap any pilot, and then it should be able to swing in. So let's talk about the perfect blocker. In my opinion, the perfect blocker, not the most meta blocker. Oh, it is a meta blocker because it's a blocker. Let's be honest here. But the Rick Diaz, the most balanced blocker. So it is blocker, cost 3, level 3, cost 2, 3/3. So it's 5 and 6. So it means it's slightly better in the stats department. But because it is a 3/3, it is more balanced. So it's not like Zawart, where Zawart you can do twice. I mean, even though it is you can do twice, but it's still pretty good because it can swing and hit the EX bases if you need be. Next, we have the Nemo, our basic 2/1, 2/2. For any white aggro deck that you want to build, you would run like Nemo. So I like to run 4 Nemos. Next, we're going to talk about a card that doesn't see a lot of play, but reading it now, I'm like, you know what? I can see it. The only problem is it's a 2/2/1/1, so it is already 4 for 2, so the stat line is kind of in the gutter. Deploy. If a friendly white base is in play, you choose one enemy unit, and it gets minus 2 AP for this turn. Cool thing about this is it doesn't require a level, doesn't require HP or AP to just do the negative. It already does it for -2. But again, you're wasting 2/1, right? It does link with Fa. So what does Fa do? So Fa is our command card here, and it's inspiring pilot. On the action step, you choose one AU unit or /base, and it recovers 2 HP. So because a lot of stuff now in the meta just clears out bases of 5 HP, and there's no 6 HP base, she's not seeing that much play. But with Zeta, I did like some cheeky stuff where I would swing in with Zeta, take damage, restand him, swing it at another thing, and the person would be like, oh, I'm not going to activate anything, I'm not going to do any blockers, or and then I would just play her because in the action step, she would heal the Zeta by 2, meaning that I would go up by 2 HP, swing in, and I wouldn't die, right? And so then it became, a pretty good, like almost a trap card interaction, right? And I really do like action cards in my opinion. I think action cards are really great when it comes to commands. So that's what Fa does, and so she links with the Nemu or the Metis and gives it +1 HP, not AP. So it's even worse because it makes it a 1/2. So it's not even that great. But I can see it if we were to do like a mono white AEUG. I can see this. I can see playing with this. In fact, I kind of want to play with it just to see how it would do. I never really gave this card a chance, so maybe with this GDO2, I might give it a chance. Who knows? We'll see. Next, we have our base. The best base, in my opinion, besides having a level 6 base in play, is the Argama. And the only reason why I consider it to be one of the better bases in the game is this effect where it can't receive enemy effect damage, meaning an entire strategy, which is breach, can no longer work with the Argama. You need to swing into the Argama, and if I have a bunch of blockers, good luck doing that, right? So, hooray! And I believe that is all the cards for GDO2. Sorry about that, I was drawing a blank here. So let's talk about the cards for GDO3 now. So let's go. This is blue. I mean, we like blue, but let's go with white. Let's go white. And then let's go with filter. Trait. AEUG. There you go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 cards to talk about. And then hopefully we talk about other white cards that we might add into Zeta to kind of make it like, you know, go a little bit up and above. And any other cards that I want to talk about. So let's do it. Let's do it. So unherald attack. It is a command. It is cats. Cats, man. This little kid is a simp, man. This kid, dude. It is what it is, but he's all right. If you know, you know. It is a level 1/1, and then you choose one friendly base and one enemy unit with 3 HP or less. Rest them. This is good. This is good. This is a good card. This is a good card. Reason why is because it's in the action step. It is a 1/1, so you can start playing it like turn 1, right? I mean, there's no turn 1. The game doesn't have a lot of turn 1 plays, but the fact that it's any friendly base that you can just rest the EX base. So like if they were to, you know, I mean, yeah, theoretically it's action steps, so you have to play it during, you know, when they swing, then you action, or at the end of their turn, then you action. It's not bad. So like I feel like with this 3 HP or less, like that's gonna hit like Zawarts, that's gonna hit Rigdias's, that's gonna hit the Zaku's, that's gonna hit like their 2/2, you know, right, where they play like the 2 and you're like, dang, I really wish I could swing in and smack their bodies, right, to clear the board to reduce it. That's really good, right? So I feel like this card is gonna be, you know, I want to say maybe not so much like a 4 of, but definitely I can see me tinkering with a 3 of. I can mess around with this being 3 of, right? Next card is G Defender. Now I had high hopes for this card, right? Because G Defender, when you rest your base with one of your unit's effects, you may rest this unit instead. I was like, oh cool, like, you know, double. But then I realized, wait a minute, thinking about it out loud, it is a 3/2 3/2 with the AEUG trait, so meaning that you can slap on a pilot and it gives it the haste, or it can swing that turn. And I was like, wait a minute, time out. If I was to, say for instance, the next turn, use Rick Diaz's ability to rest the thing and reactivate the base, or rest this, I'm technically losing 2 units, right? Like 2 units become sideways, and the base doesn't get sideways, and I'm just using the effect. Yeah, it'd be great to use it for like 2 Zetas, but the chances of you having this and 2 Zetas out in the field are going to be 9 hard. It's not gonna be impossible, but if that's gonna be your main strategy for using G Defender, then I wouldn't use it. I would rather use the G Defender because it is a 3/2, and it can be linked. You want to use it for the more aggressive plays. So this would technically replace, if for any reason you were like, you know what, I don't want to run too many blockers, you can either replace this sacrilegiously for your Gundam Irith, if you were like, I'm not gonna run Gundam Irith, or you can do it for Rick Diaz, or, you know, any other units that you want to play. But I can see this being more useful in the aggro matchup due to the fact that you can link it away and start swinging, but never for the effect. The effect is more of like I wouldn't even say ice cream on the cake. It's kind of not needed, really, you know, until we get more cards at lower levels that require you to rest the base. Then I can see this card being more useful. But as of right now, I don't see me using this card per se, because I would rather keep my blockers. But who knows? Maybe we go with a blue or like more of an aggressive, like a purple white aggro style, where we're like, nah, we don't really need too many blockers. Or maybe the meta shifts to where it's no longer like blockers are no longer going to be needed, right? But as far as I can tell, only good for aggro. So if you're an aggressive player and you're like, oh, I hate playing with blockers, then go ahead, man. G Defender all day, baby. Next, we're gonna talk about Emma Sheen, Big Sis Emma, right? She is a 3-1-1-1. Okay, so not bad. It's a generic 3-1-1-1. And then her effect is during link, so she's gotta be linked. So she can already link with the G Defender. She can already link with Gundam Mark II. She can already link with Gundam with Rick Diaz Red, and then destroy. So she's gotta die, or the unit has to be destroyed. If a friendly white base is in place, so there's the caveat, you need a white base. Choose one enemy unit whose level is equal to or lower than this unit. Return it to its owner's hand. Cool. That's actually that's not bad. That's not bad, considering that, again, on your turn you can swing in and then bounce something of theirs, or like bounce another blocker to give you guys more leeway to go in, because it's still like the units that she links with, besides G Defense, oh no, it's equal to. So it's all blockers. It's all lower level blockers. Shoot, you can bounce back the Taugis with the Taugis tokens, or you can bounce tokens with this card. If there's another Gundam or another unit that has the AEUG trait that's at a higher level, then she definitely goes up in value, in a sense. So I definitely can see me playing Emma. Shoot, to be honest, if you want to do like a pure AEUG thing, you would do 4 Camilles, 3 Emmas, 3 Quattros, and then call it a day. I want to say I think we have enough pieces in our arsenal to do mono white. That might actually be my first deck in GDO3, a mono white Zeta, and see if that works. That might be ambitious, but if you guys want to see it, let me know. All right, leave a like, comment. I want to see mono white Zeta. I want to see pure white Zeta, and we'll do it. All right. So next card is gonna be Super Gundam. So Super Gundam is a 5-4-4-4. Okay, so it's 9-4-4. All right. During link, and then when it swings, so it has to attack, choose one enemy unit with no paired pilot. It gets -2 this turn. So it gets -2 this turn. So you have to swing in, it gets -2. And then with Rick Diaz, you swing in, you pick it, you rest your base, and then it gets -2 for that battle. That's -4. You add in the Methis, that's another -2, it's -6. -6 in one turn. And you can do it too, because the Methis is a 2-2. This is a 4 at 5. Oh wait, you can't do it at 5. You have to do it at 6. You can do it on turn 6, giving something -6. Ooh, that's gross, dude. But other than that, though, this is a constant. When it swings in, it just gives -2 for that turn. That's great, because it's not just that battle, it's the whole turn. So you can swing in, choose one of their blockers, or choose one of their units that you think might, well, it's gotta be a blocker, because when you swing it in, that's the only time. You choose one of the blockers, -2. So you pretty much nullify that blocker, or you make it to where like the trade is more of an even trade. Now it is during link. Cool thing about this guy is that it's got the AEUG trait, meaning that it can link with Emma, Quattro, and Camille. So then you have, I can definitely see this being a 3-of in a lot of decks. Yeah, I would use this as a 3-of. I wouldn't use it as a 4-of. I would rather use Hayashiki as a 4-of, because Hayashiki is a blocker, so it gives me that added levity. But I can really see me using 3 of this. Yeah, especially if you use more AEUG pilots in your deck. Yeah, I would definitely. And then with Emma, he's able to bounce back stuff from level 5 and lower, as long as they're not. Oh, it doesn't even freaking matter. You can just bounce it back even with a pilot. I mean, you don't want to, because obviously you don't want to give them the pilot again. But I mean, that's pretty good. 5 or lower. That's a lot of cards. It's a lot of stuff you can bounce when he dies. And it becomes a 5-5 with her. That's not bad. That's not bad. Next, we're talking about the new big boss monster or boss card, in a sense only because it's level 7, costs 5, and it is a 5/5. Does link with Camille Bidon, the Z Gundam Biosensor. So the Biosensor in the show, if you don't know what it is, it's pretty much just an added, I want to say like an added material or added like paneling, where it's specifically meant for new types. So it's like a prototype of what the Unicorn does with new types, right? And it amplifies the Gundam's capability when a new type ability is activated. So when Camille taps into his new type, you know, his beam saber got bigger. He was able to like do feats or like take on more unit, take on like a unit that, or like someone that he had a problem with in the episode. I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I've seen Zeta. All this is telling me is to watch Zeta again. But let's see how they translated that into the card itself, right? So on deploy, you choose one enemy unit, and for each AU unit in your trash, it gets -1 AP this turn. That's actually not bad, considering that if we're running, even if you're running bare minimum 2 of him, and you threw away 1 away, right? And then you have your 4 Rick Diaz's, and then you have like the other Zetas, and then like and your shields, you have other stuff that's AUG as well. Okay, I can see this kind of popping off with on our aggressive deck and the blue-white Zeta, right? I can see this popping off in the blue-white Zeta. And the cool thing is this turn. So, all right. So with Super Gundam on the attack, -2 this turn. The Methist being deployed, -2 this turn. Rick Diaz on swing, -2. This guy, so like as long as you have like two AU units in your bin, this gives -2, which is good. Any more, it's gonna be phenomenal, right? With Camille, it does kind of make it a 7/6 with no white base. With the white base, it makes it an 8/7, so that's pretty strong. It doesn't have the restand ability, which, I mean, whatever, that's fine with me. I'm not gonna get mad at it, but I can see this being really good at like taking out like a unit. So again, either you're using it to kind of stop and nullify their blockers, or they're already swung in and you see like, you know what, you're going to be a problem. I want to deal with you and I want to still be alive next turn. Then you would swing in with the Zeta Biosensor. So I can see, again, this I would run only two of in the deck. So it'd be technically 5 Zeta Gundams. So it's 3 Zeta and then 2 of this one. And the only reason why I say, you know, is because me personally, I can't see, when I build a Zeta deck, I can't see less than 3 Zetas. Personally. Like, I can't. It just doesn't make sense to me. So, alright. So, that's all the AU cards. So, let's talk about other white cards that has been revealed so far that we might use. They just revealed her. Choose an enemy unit. It gains -6. It wasn't destroyed. Okay, so it's 3/1/2. Okay, so maybe not. I mean, pretty good card. But I mean, over Emma, which is already the AU trait, and she already gives the card, you know, anything haste, I would rather pick Emma. Let's talk about awkward approach first before we talk about this guy. Let's talk about our awkward approach first. So awkward approach. So 3/1 on main, choose one rested friendly base, set it as active. If you do, all enemy units gain -1 AP during this turn, or AP -1 during this turn. So this card is good. I think this card is better in the Academy deck though, because there is an Academy base that, as long as you have an Academy unit on the field, you can tap it and it gives a card -1. Use this, and then you give everything -1, and then you tap it again to give the other card another card -1, or you can give that same unit -1. So in a sense, you give it -3 for technically 1 cost card, right? So it's pretty much a not so great unforeseen incident, and on top of that, you can still play unforeseen incident. So it's really freaking insane, right? I just wish that for us, we had a more prominent way of tapping our bases early on. So that's the big difference between Zeta, is that, or AU, right? The AU archetype is that they want to tap bases, but they tap them at a later point to where anything else that can restand the base, you're pretty much not getting anything for restanding it, right? Or you're hardly getting anything, right? You gotta you know, we need more cards that really affect it. So they really needed to give us at least one more card or a couple more cards. Yeah, like this one, okay, but it's still a command, right? So you're spending two resources to give. Well, this one rests it, and then this one gives it a -1 to everything. So okay, you can possibly okay. But I really would like a unit. I want something with that constantly can right? But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And this one specifically is only for units. So G Defender is only for units. So it doesn't even work with underhanded attack. So let's talk about the white elephant, right? Freedom Gundam. Let's talk about it. Let's spend about a couple minutes talking about this guy. When this unit is rested, friendly shields can't receive battle damage from enemy units. So, meaning, once the base is gone, this guy's rested, can't do anything, right? So I can see this card being really good in Zeta, or just really good in any white base. So it's gonna be good in white base decks altogether. It does leak with Kira, so if you do plan on, you know, obviously if you're going to run white, you want to run the L strike, so you do want to run Kira's. So there you go, and then you rest it. So with Kira, it would make it a 6/6 for, you know, 6/5. So again, pretty good, pretty decent. It can take a beating as well, right? So I honestly think that's going to be a very good card. I hear a couple people talking about Awakened Potential, considering that it does give it blocker. The only problem with Hidden Potential is that you need to run at least 4 just to get that blocker effect to go off. So that's 4 cards on top of already a lot of decks already kind of really being hard to build, right? So we'll see. Other than that, though, I don't really see a lot of white base cards or white cards in general kind of affecting it. I think the good general strategy going into GDO2 now would definitely be using white and blue. So you're still going to use blue. But the cool thing is you technically no longer need to use Amuro per se. I know, crazy, right? But have you guys heard about the card? Oh man, because it's freaking AEUG. Have you heard about the card Siege Floyd? 3/1 action. Choose one enemy unit with 5 or less rested. This is technically Amuro, but you don't get to do anything. So this, I think what's gonna happen now, if you want my personal opinion, if we're like, ooh, pilot's tight, right? We're gonna be, I think we're gonna go more with a white blue, but the fact that the blue is only gonna be used for like Siege Floor. I mean, you can use Amuro. Let's be honest, you can use Amuro for the 2/1 as well. I'm not gonna tell you not to, but if you're like, oh, I want to use Quattro and I want to use the new Emma, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, right? Siege Play. Run Siege Play. Play around with Siege Play for a little bit. See if that helps out with that, right? It comes down to turn earlier from Amuro. Yeah, there's no body left behind when Amuro does his effect, but at the same time, you're really then at that point you're using Grandpa to give that plus AP, right? That's your main focus of it all, right? It was never Amuro to rest. It was always Amuro to rest and then have that plus AP, right? So it's always a double card. But you know, who knows? And it comes in the new Hathaway, so but that's all. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today when it comes to this. GDO3 I think is going to be really great in regards to other cards. As for the AEUG, we're still kind of there, but we're not fully there. I would like at least another maybe Zeta flight mode, right, where it gives it high maneuver or anything like that, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for staying, hearing me rant and scream to the moon. If you guys did like this content, please let me know so I can do more. I do want to do more discussions. I want to open the floor to you guys, so that way we can talk about, you know, all things Gundam. It doesn't have to be Zeta specifically, but I'm doing Zeta because that's my bread and butter. That's the card I really like, so I want that to be the best deck it can be. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.